The Pentagon has gutted an agency that is devoted to protecting civilians, and also they've replaced them with who else? AI, of course. Now, this is all according to a new report that was obtained by the Intercept. This news comes right as more US soldiers are losing their lives, and in response to these deaths, War Secretary Pete Hegseth said, "Godspeed, heroes. Their sacrifice only stiffens our resolve." To which Marjorie Taylor Greene responded, "Sacrifice? What the F are you talking about? They did not willingly sacrifice themselves. They were killed because of the war you, Trump, and the administration are waging on behalf of a foreign country, Israel. You mean their deaths fuel your bloodlust for a senseless war?" Yeah, so bloodlust does seem to be the perfect word to use here. I really don't know how else you can describe Hegseth's Pentagon dismantling their premier agency devoted to preventing civilian casualties. But before we move on, Sharon, what do you make of all this?
Look, Marjorie Taylor Greene's potty mouth is beautiful sometimes. This is actually a beautiful mind. Let's not sugarcoat this thing, okay? Let's tell the truth about what's going on here. Those men and women should be home with their families, not having someone knock at the door in the middle of the night and tell them, oh yeah, for nothing, they're dead. And the strait is still closed and nothing else is going to change here. So you know what? Good on her on this one, but let's stop the rhetoric. Let's stop the lies to the American people. We pretty much got it now.
Yeah, I think I agree. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, she has some misses, but when she hits, she will hit it out of the park. She's one of those folks where I'm like, if we could just sit down and have maybe like one conversation, I feel like you could really be great on our side. And she almost is, I think, at least with some issues. But anyway, let's dive into what this agency actually is. So the War Department's Civilian Protection Center of Excellence has reduced its staff from 40 personnel in January 2025 to just 9 by the end of the year, according to the report. 2 current defense officials confirm that staffing levels remain the same today. Current and former government officials say the massive cuts have left the Pentagon unable to protect civilians. Now, you might be thinking, why keep just a few people around and not just shut down the entire agency? Well, according to Wes Bryant, who was the center's chief of civilian harm assessments before being pushed out, the Civilian Protection Center of Excellence is being kept on life support in order to run cover for the Pentagon. The Hegseth regime held on to a thread of the program, mostly in effort to be able to say they are following the law. But the reality is the center and its efforts have had little to no influence on or oversight or visibility on operations. As long as they sit in the seat, they're continuing to try to put out good work. But the reality is, most of it is being thrown into the wind and neither institutionalized nor operationalized. And this next part is from the Intercept. The tiny contingent that remains at the Civilian Protection Center of Excellence, the officials said, are also prevented from investigating major civilian casualty incidents like the US attack on the Shahara Taibeh Elementary School in Manab, Iran in February that killed more than 150 people, most of them children. Also, in case you're wondering, it does get worse.
Do you know your brain rot index? No, of course you don't. I didn't either because I didn't know what it was, but turns out you might want to, especially after hearing this. Did you know that the average American checks their phone over 200 times a day? That's about 5 hours of screen time a day on just your phone. Unfortunately, that means your brain is rotting. A little bit, but have no fear. I switched over to Noble Mobile, downloaded their Noble Mobile Life app, and was able to track my own brain rot index. It's 0. No, I'm just kidding. My number was not great, but now that I'm on Noble Mobile, getting way better. It tracks how much you use your phone, how often you pick it up, and even shows you how to save money on your phone bill by using it less. New members can even earn up to $100 cash back for keeping their brain rot index under 100, which means you are very unrot. Okay, so you unlock all that when you join. So download the Noble Mobile Life app today, track your own brain rot index, and learn how you can save money and spend more time doing things that actually bring you joy instead of doom scrolling on social media. Check it out by heading to tyt.com/switch or by downloading the Noble Mobile app. By the way, don't tell Andrew, but if you're on Wi-Fi, you also don't use your data, so you're gonna get money back anyway. tyt.com/switch.
So according to the report obtained by the Intercept, the Pentagon also abandoned a database used to track civilian harm last year. Without the data management platform, as the database is known, the Pentagon is literally incapable of keeping track of civilian harm. Excellent work from this administration. As the Pentagon has starved the CHMR enterprise, the US has killed and wounded thousands of civilians across the world, from Latin America to Africa to the Middle East. The World Health Organization put the death toll in Iran at 3,375 people before the ceasefire fell apart this month. The US military has also conducted more than 220 extrajudicial killings during a campaign of boat strikes targeting civilians in the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean. Also, a 10-person civilian harm mitigation team at CENTCOM also had their staff reduced to just one person. And who is replacing them? It's robots, of course. Why not? During an Army exercise, their new AI prototype cut down the timeline for producing civilian assessments by 97%. Because, why take your time and really be deliberate when it comes to assessing civilian harm? Let's just get it done as quickly as possible, I guess. And also, the report mentions use of what is known as the Maven Smart System, an AI product from none other than Palantir, which is a company that Stephen Miller currently has between $100,000 and $250,000 of stock in, just bringing that up for no reason whatsoever. And what are the remaining staffers supposed to do now that their jobs have become basically impossible? Well, according to Bryant, they're supposed to shut up, keep their heads down, and pretend that the civilian harm mitigation and response mission isn't simply a shell. So we have incredible reporting from the Intercept here, and it seems to confirm what seems like a lot of suspicions that have been going around for quite a while, especially given the amount of silence from the administration in February when that school in Iran was struck, where we killed over 150 people, many of them being schoolgirls. Apparently, maybe some of the silence was a result of them just gutting the entire system that takes care of whenever our military industrial complex ends up killing innocent people. So Sharon, I mean, my blood is boiling a little bit. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's sick. I think that they're bumbling idiots. They don't understand how you are supposed to verify AI, chat, whatever. But they also don't care. They're not really trying to over-explain or make a good cover story. They're just kind of, just kind of paint it with a thin brush, a thin coat. It doesn't really matter. After all, these are little brown girls, and you can't possibly love them as much as we love white babies here in the United States. So yeah, this is more sicko behavior. And the more they act this way and perpetrate these things, the more ordinary, regular, decent people think you might have even done it on purpose. I understand there's no evidence of that, but look how you act and look how little you care.
Yep. One of my favorite comedy sketches ever is by a duo named Mitchell and Webb, and it's become a meme in recent years for pretty good reason. But it's the one where they're all wearing Nazi attire, basically, and they're looking at one another, going, "Are we the baddies?" And I feel like if you have an administration that is going, "Hey, we're not going to worry about civilian harm, and we're going to fire these people," and not only are we going to fire them, we're actually going to keep a couple around so that they can make us look good. And we're gonna replace you with AI. Like, the idea that you are prioritizing efficiency when it comes to these kinds of assessments makes absolutely no sense to me, especially for an administration that is asking for even more funding, $1.5 trillion, I think the last time I checked. I think they can find enough money somewhere to be able to actually take care of these things, and apparently they can't. And I think that in that Intercept article, there is one quote where they talk about how this just is a reprioritization. It's no longer a priority for this administration to be able to keep track of the damage that they're doing overseas. I don't know that it ever really has been, but this agency in particular began, I want to say in like 2023, and they had just gotten going. Like, they were really, they're the full steam ahead, basically. And right when they were hitting their stride is exactly when this administration came in and said, absolutely no more. In fact, we're gonna get a chatbot to do it for you, and we're gonna get that chatbot, get that AI from a company that many people have a vested interest in this administration already. So you have conflict of interest, corruption, and what seems to me just like moral depravity.
Doctor, that's right on brand. That's just right on brand. So what more is there to discuss? It's right on brand. It's what they're doing and we'll keep doing. Might as well make money after it too.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you appreciated my diagnosis.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.